Hello and welcome to the YouTube channel Marsonia News. I am Talita Orešković. Tibet has always fascinated me, whose civilization dates back to the year 618. But having so much interest, I have never visited Tibet. I did not happen to meet anyone who is from Tibet, nor have I heard of Tibetan language spoken anywhere. I suppose you have not too. Well, it is implied that when your government will make a foreign language compulsory in your schools, will marginalize your culture, will restrict your social media use and rigidize tourism, you will drift away from the rest of the world. So is Tibet. Today we are talking about the highest region on earth and a southwestern territory in China, which most of us read on internet but never talk about it. Tibet. The Tibet Autonomous Region, short TAR, or as we all call it Tibet, is governed as a province-level entity of China, established in 1965. The territory nominally enjoys some autonomy. Actual governance is tightly controlled by the Chinese Communist Party. Mandarin is being enforced in Tibetan schools, jeopardizing its own Tibetan language. Tibetan and Mandarin are two completely different Asian languages, in build and vocabulary itself. Hello is ni hao in Mandarin, while it's tashi delek in Tibetan. You see the difference. Douyin has banned Tibetan language content on its platform. Maybe you're wondering what Douyin is. Well, Douyin is the TikTok of China. It's available only in China. As Tibet is a part of China, the only social media you use there is Douyin. And as a content creator, you cannot upload anything of Tibetan language in this app. There is intense surveillance in the region. Arbitrary arrests happen every time, and there is no public record of these arrests, ensuring the world does not get to know about it. Peaceful protests are violently suppressed with harsh penalties. Not just that, there have been reports of separation of children from their families for indoctrination in boarding schools. Also, economic discrimination happens. Ethnic Han Chinese migration has marginalized Tibetans economically, with job opportunities favoring migrants over locals. Many Tibetans live below the poverty line due to systemic inequalities. But why all this? What are these atrocities for? Are there benefits to China if it keeps Tibet suppressed under its rule? The geopolitical implications of the Tibet issue are significant, particularly concerning China's regional power dynamics. Water. Tibet is crucial for water resources as it feeds major rivers in Asia. China's control over these waterways allows it to exert influence over downstream countries, raising concerns about access and ecological impacts. India-China relations. Tibet serves as a buffer between India and China, with ongoing border tensions. Increased military presence by both nations in the region could escalate conflicts, impacting regional stability. US involvement. The US has intensified its focus on Tibet through legislative measures, viewing support for Tibetan autonomy as part of its broader strategy to encounter China's influence in Asia. This includes potential sanctions against Chinese officials interfering in Tibetan affairs. US delegation recently visited the Dalai Lama, signaling a shift in US engagement with Tibetan leadership, contrasting previous policies that avoided interaction with the Tibetan government in exile. Later this year, the US House passed the Resolve Tibet Act, urging China to engage in dialogue with Tibetan leaders. This has intensified tensions with Beijing. The act supports Tibetan autonomy. It defines Tibet to include regions beyond the Tibet autonomous region and mandates US efforts to counter Chinese disinformation about Tibetan history. This could significantly impact US-China relations by potentially revoking China's permanent normal trade relations status. This would lead to increased tariffs on Chinese imports ranging from 35% to 100%, which could escalate trade tensions and disrupt supply chains. China is likely to respond with retaliatory measures affecting US exporters and hating economic frictions between the two nations. But yes, a recent development regarding Tibet's political status highlight increased international focus and support for Tibet being an autonomous state. However, parallel to these developments, Tibet remains under severe Chinese repression. It is reported to be the least free country globally. Calls for genuine autonomy and protection of Tibetan identity continue amidst a lack of substantial global political response. Our people from Tibet deserve such an environment. Will a Tibetan kid growing up in this era have this future? What are your views on China's approach on Tibet and why India doesn't speak about it? Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more important discussions. Let me know in the comments what you think and how we can make a difference together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.